for those curious, we are using the Strangelings, the Beautiful Creatures tarot deck by J.R. Rivera and Jasmine Beckett-Griffith, who did the art, who is one of my favorite artists. And we have the Creativity Oracle, which has artwork on the backs of all the cards. It's different artwork for each card, and it has a, I can't think of the term, it has your like focus or your meaning just plainly written on the back. Let us begin with a Leo. Challenge. I'm not gonna worry about like. Alright, so for Leo, we have pulled the Two of Cups, which is all about a relationship or partnership working in harmony. I see your pack rip. I will get to it in a moment. Ooh, okay. I like these together. So, Leo, for Lughnasadh, has the Two of Cups. As you can see, the key word there is relationship. It's all about a partnership or a relationship working in harmony. These two people are growing together, they're working well together, they're communicating, they are helping to kind of fill each other's gaps, not necessarily asking each other to be better or to change in any way, but finding ways to highlight each other's strengths while making each other's flaws, or at least perceived flaws, seem lesser, right? And helping each other overcome those perceived flaws. And then the Creativity Oracle, this is the image. Very similar vibes with the two figures that are enjoying time together, right? The statement on the back is enchantment. We are enchanted when muses sing the spirit of art into us. This is indicative of a very, very beautiful, not just harmonious, but creative and enchanting relationship between these two individuals. This is a very strong partnership that is going to be to the ultimate benefit of both people involved, both the Leo and whoever the other person is. Very often cups, people will presume it is romantic. This is not necessarily the case, but I'm getting very, very strong vibes of love and romance. So it could be a very, very strong friendship, but I'm getting the sense that this is entirely romantic. So this is two lovers, this is husband and wife, whatever the case may be, wherever they are in their relationship. This is a very, very what is now a fundamental part of both of these individuals' lives is the relationship that they have and the communication between them and the bond that they have built and are continuing to build, and a likely evolution of that bond into something even better, if that is possible, and just being able to find passion and creativity and inspiration in each other as you keep moving forward. That's beautiful. I love that. Okay. Next up is, check my brain here, Virgo. So Virgo has pulled the Nine of Swords, which is anxiety, often an anxiety that's paired with restlessness, and then the Three of Swords inverted. The Three of Swords typically is heartbreak. This card says disappointment. When inverted, though, typically you are recovering from that heartbreak. So something has not gone the way that you wanted it to, or needed it to, or at least hoped it would. And you are recovering from that. I'm not sure if the anxiety was prior to the Three of Swords, the grief of the Three of Swords, or if it's the other way around. I do believe that the heartbreak or disappointment of the Three of Swords occurred to bring about this anxiety, and so the anxiety now is over not just how well you will recover, but what to do moving forward with whatever this disappointment was. And your Creativity Oracle is this gentleman walking along a path. His attention has been drawn by the butterfly above him, and it says distractions. When you are trying to solve a problem, you will often be tested by distractions. You need to help you get past whatever has occurred that has upset you, You need to focus on the things you can control and on the things that are actually your priorities to get done. Whether it's things professionally or, you know, in my own life, I'm having to plan a wedding on top of everything else. And I really need to focus on getting everything done because we're getting closer and closer each day. And the longer I let myself get distracted with things that are coping mechanisms, the less and less work I'm getting done. Even though I do need to take some time to get over anything negative that might occur through the process. We all need time to, you know, sit with and deal with our emotions so that we can get them out and get them over with so that we can move on easily rather than bottling things up. But that doesn't mean that anytime something bad happens, you use that as an excuse to do nothing, right? Don't let yourself be distracted by what would normally be your coping mechanisms. The best way to move forward is to focus on the things you actually need to do, on the things that you actually have control over. And everything else will, with time and a little bit of luck, will start to fall into place much more easily as you keep moving forward, right? Just focus on one foot in front of the other foot, you know? Next, we will do Libra. We pull the Two of Swords in reverse, which is all about, so the Two of Swords normally is about confusion and needing to make a decision that is tricky. When inverted, often it indicates that neither choice in the decision is necessarily better than the other. Often it will even come down to all but literally choosing between the lesser of two evils. Like, which one is going to be less painful or less detrimental, because neither option is good. Or weevils. True. So at this point, you just need to make sure that you have all the information you could possibly use to make the decision, and then just fucking decide and move forward, you know? Let's see what your creativity oracle is to go with that. Muse! Fittingly, because we had another one mentioning the muses. Here is the art for the muse. And she says, seek out or act as a positive, inspiring, and helpful muse to another's creativity. Whatever choice you are facing right now, Libra, with the Two of Swords, neither option is necessarily better. However, you are guided to choose with the mentality that whatever you are doing right now is leading by example for someone else. And right now, you are meant to be an example or an inspiration to someone else for their own journey. Whether or not you know it, someone is looking to you for how to move forward in something they're dealing with. So, as I said, leading by example. While neither decision is necessarily better, you ultimately, whichever decision you make, will have been the right one, if that makes sense. And likewise, if you are the one who needs inspiration, you are urged to find your own muse in order to continue. Alright, next is Scorpio. For Scorpio, we have the moon, which is concealment and illusion, things not quite being what they seem, or otherwise difficult truths coming to light, and how you need to navigate that. Here's the creativity image, which says, delay. Confront the natural tendency to delay the completion of your creative endeavors. Now, this is the creativity oracle, so it's very focused on art and design and things to do with being a creative individual, because I firmly believe that that is one of the big things that separates us as humans from other creatures that live on this planet, is that we have not only the ability to, but the want to create and make art in whatever way that comes about for each of us, whether it's painting or drawing or sewing or dance or music or whatever the case may be. I mean, our earliest forms of records, so to speak, and expression were literally paintings on the walls of the caves that we sheltered in when we were nomadic peoples and Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal before that. It is in our human nature to make art and to find ways to express ourselves beyond our normal conversation. And often in making an effort to be creative in some way in each of our lives, that can help us with navigating other things, because it helps us get more complex things we can't always express typically, again, through conversation, or even express properly in our own heads because maybe it's too jumbled. If you can get it out in some sort of art form in a way that is healthy and constructive, often it helps you to navigate those emotions and clear them out of the way so that you can focus better and you can navigate other things in your life more easily. One thing that we all struggle with, though, is not letting ourselves actually finish the project, because I think we all struggle with the concept of trying to figure out what to do next once we complete a goal that's in front of us. Especially if it's a goal that we have built up so heavily in our own heads. Again, I'm dealing with this a little bit myself. Making my dress, it's something that I've wanted to do for years, even before the first time I was engaged. We're not going to talk about that too much. I had decided I was going to make my wedding dress. And so it became this loftier and loftier goal as I kept waiting for the moment I was actually engaged and trying to make it. And it got to a point where now I am scared that it's never going to be good enough and live up to the expectation and the imagining that I have in my head for it. Even though, of course it's going to be good enough. It's mine and I'll have made it, and it will be unique to me, and it will carry all of the love and the memories that I and my fiance have for each other in it, in every thread and in every moment it takes me to make it, until either my own daughter, if I have a daughter, uses it, or someone else breaks it down to use for something else, whatever becomes of it after the wedding. Not going to think too far ahead like that because I had to focus on now. And whatever confusion you are dealing with from the moon, a lot of clarity may come from letting yourself refocus on whatever this project is that you are procrastinating over. Sometimes we procrastinate finishing things because we're not completely set on how we want to finish them. But if you pick it back up and start working on it again, the way you most want to finish it should hopefully make itself clear to you. Like, you will figure out how you want to do it as you work on it. So don't be afraid of whether or not it is good enough at the end. Focus on getting it done. And in so getting it done, that will help you feel better, you'll feel that accomplishment, and you'll have some time to relax and enjoy your finished project or whatever goal you've achieved. And that will then help you feel clear enough to pick something new to work toward now that it's over. And again, the process of working on whatever this project is will also give you time to think through and process whatever other more difficult things are going on in your life, and hopefully give you a constructive and a healthy environment to think through it and figure out how you think and feel about what's going on and what you most want to do moving forward. Because that often is where a lot of our contention in interpersonal relationships come from, is when we react instinctively out of worry and fear and misunderstanding, rather than giving ourselves some time to process and respond maturely and reasonably. We're all guilty of it at some point in our lives. We now have Sagittarius, who has pulled the Eight of Wands, which is message. It's also fast movement and progress on whatever you're working on. But we have the Nine of Cups, which is inverted. Nine of Cups typically is contentment and satisfaction, so clearly when inverted, something is causing discontent. Something is causing you to not feel as satisfied with your current situation for whatever reason. Your creativity oracle is this image. Two people taking a path together, and there's a butterfly ahead of them. And it says collaboration. Creative people can be inspired by sharing and stimulating creativity in others. So, things are starting to move a bit more quickly And all of the, like, every step you take is having a confirmation of you being on the right path, which is leading to you feeling confident and taking the next step. But there's something about the situation that has you concerned. I think you, Sagittarius, like Scorpio, are concerned with whether or not things are going to be good enough when you reach the end and when you achieve this goal. And more so, I think you are more concerned with the other things that are sitting and waiting in the wings for you to get this goal done. I think you're worried that by the time you're done with this, I think you're worried that by the time you're done with this and finally are able to get back to other projects, that you won't actually want to go back to those projects for whatever reason, and we'll just have all this unfinished work sitting around collecting dust. And sometimes that happens, and that's okay. We as people continue to change and grow. That is one of the most inevitable things about life, is that change is going to happen. And if you find that you are no longer interested in completing work that you started, it is okay. Now, it might just be that you need to take some time to shift gears and get back in the mindset of wanting to complete the project that you left to the side while you got this higher priority one done. But if you really are just not feeling, like if you start working on it and it continues to just feel like something you have to do, and it's no longer something you want to do, no longer something you feel called to, let it go. Knowing full well, content in the knowledge that it's just not for you anymore. You know? But further, I think the actual issue is that you are trying too hard to do this by yourself. Even if the project you are working on is a one-man show, something that doesn't really need another person's work, it can be done by you and you alone, you have all the skills you need, that doesn't mean you shouldn't engage with other creative people as you work on it. Because energy in certain spaces rebounds off of itself. That sounded very woo-woo. Let me bring that back down to earth a little bit. When we are surrounded by like-minded people, more so by people with similar energies and similar passion, it often becomes easier, even if we have completely different goals or skills or projects, often it makes it easier to focus and feel the drive to complete what we're working on. And this is why things like creator spaces exist for people working on creative projects to be able to interact with one another in person and learn from each other with the tools and machines. It's why, it's why something like a Twitch stream works, because all the people in the chat are hyping up the streamer, who is then turning around and reflecting that energy back to the chat, and it's helping everybody feel really good about whatever's happening in the stream at that time. Libraries, even. You go to a library or a coffee shop because everybody is there to take some time to just relax and either get work done or read or just take a break from whatever's going on. You get a slightly different setting and it helps you focus better. And the caffeine certainly helps, especially if it's actually good coffee or tea or whatever. There are reasons why we associate certain kinds of places with improving our ability to get things done. Gyms as well. You go to a fitness gym 9 times out of 10 because it's helping you actually stay on track with whatever is your fitness goal. Yoga classes, Pilates, anything like that. Being surrounded by other people with similar goals makes it easier for you to stay on target. Even if it's simply having those people nearby and never saying a word to each other. I have felt it whenever I've gone to the gym or a library or a coffee shop. I'm sure you all have, regardless of how intuitive you might feel. Energy multiplies. And so if you simply find other creative people or other passionate people in your life to share what you're doing with and to listen to as they share what they're doing, that might actually help you feel like you have enough energy and enough drive to get the other projects done once your current one is done. They will help motivate you as you motivate them. You don't have to go through whatever you're working on completely alone. And I hesitate to say like-minded a lot of times because if you're too like-minded, that's where you get something like an echo chamber that makes it difficult to be open-minded about things outside of your beliefs or what have you. We should always seek to challenge our beliefs, whatever they may be, either to help us understand that they are flawed and come to better conclusions, or in order to test our beliefs and reaffirm that, yep, I'm sticking with that. That's getting a little further out there and a little too close to political discussion, I guess. So, Capricorn is next. Be nice. I'm kidding. No, we always ask for it to tell us what we most need to know for the time frame at hand. Goat! Goaty goat, goat, goat. You know, at some point I need to just make a really pretty costume inspired by Capricorn. Incorporate all of the colors. Ooh, what actually might be cooler is to take my whole birth chart and turn that into a costume. Capricorn has pulled the inverted sun. And this is the Creativity Oracle. Another butterfly showing itself. And moons have been coming up a lot lately as well. It says, wish granted. Believe in your abilities as a magic maker or a creative person to manifest your wishes. They will soon be your reality. Now, one thing to keep in mind when we talk about manifestation, right? A lot of people have the concept of manifestation explained to them that, oh, if you just think positively about the thing you want, you'll get it. And so they take that too simply and too literally to mean they just have to think about it positively and say things about it positively and it'll happen and you don't have to do anything else. That's not what that means. What it means is that your mindset heavily influences your ability to work toward that goal, and your progress working toward that goal likewise influences your mindset. So when you don't feel motivated to work on something, even though you really do want to work on it, often getting up and starting to work on it, even when you don't quite feel like you have the energy or the want, will help get you into the groove, and it will become easier after a few minutes to keep working on it because, okay, yeah, see, we got over the hump of starting. Now let's keep going. I am someone who struggles with inertia like that myself. If you struggle with inertia, like, oh, I really want or need to do this thing, but I just don't quite have the energy, it's easier just to stay doing what I'm doing now or doing nothing. If you force yourself to get up over that hump, push yourself to get up those stairs, the rest of the road past is going to be so much easier. Once you get over that first hump of getting your momentum going, working on whatever it is, it won't seem so bad once you're in the thick of it. And that, you know, it feeds off of itself. As you make that progress, that will hopefully make it easier the next time to come back to it and keep working on it. The main thing is to try to keep yourself from seeing whatever it is you need to do as a chore. So that's the Creativity Oracle, is you need to believe that you are capable of reaching that goal in order to be better able to work toward that goal. I bring up the Princess and the Frog with that sort of concept as well. One of the main points of that film, even though it's a Disney movie, is that wishing on the star doesn't do anything on its own. The star can only do so much. You gotta meet it halfway. So you need to put in the work to show God, to show you, the universe, to show that star I know. I need to watch it again. It's been so long. You need to make a point of showing how much you want it and work to earn it. Now, the inverted sun, the sun is typically a card of happiness. So there's some sort of unhappiness, there's some sort of disappointment happening with it being in reverse. It's also a card of clarity. That is the key word on this version of the card. So there's something muddying the water. Negativity, depression, or sadness. I illuminate what must be seen in the light and dispel all shadows of doubt. So something has led you to doubt yourself and your ability to move forward with whatever you're doing. Perhaps even doubt whether you're worthy of the goal, even if you have worked to achieve it. And I'm telling you right now, if you are this worried about, it's like a friend of mine who is trying to have her first kid right now. Part of her, she is so worried about whether or not she and her husband are actually ready to have a child and be good parents to that child. And I explained to her that if she's worried about whether she's going to be a good mom, chances are that means she's already a good mom. It's just like imposter syndrome. If you're worried about, like, if you're worried that people will suddenly decide that you've faked it and haven't actually done enough work to earn whatever you have, that kind of shows that you're not an imposter. Whatever you're worried about being good enough for, you probably are already good enough for it. You just gotta persevere through that doubt, and in so doing, you will prove to yourself, let alone anybody else who may have added to that doubt, that you are absolutely worthy of what you are working toward and what you are dreaming of for yourself. Okay? So Aquarius is pulled as I try to aspirate. You are one, which is all about authenticity and being true to yourself. This is a unique card to this deck. We have the One or Ace of Swords in reverse, typically dealing with intellect. And the Creativity Oracle has this image and says, share. To help you make progress, it's a good idea to share what you have and what you care about. Let me double check the Ace of Swords because I'm iffy on that one in reverse. Okay, so definitely dealing with confusion and self-doubt again, much like some of the previous signs. The inverted Ace of Swords is confusion, brutality, and chaos. I release confusion and embrace clear, honest thinking. Typically when it is upright, it is that clarity, it is that breakthrough, and that sort of eureka moment that allows you to start down a new road with a fresh perspective. So, the way forward will be much more clear to you if you focus on continuing to be authentic to yourself and who you are. The adage, those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind, comes to mind. If you are dealing with others who are being judgmental, or if you are afraid of judgment for others for whatever reason, that seems to be where the doubt is coming from, right? Is whether you can trust other people to actually be kind and accepting of you. You shouldn't worry about whether people are or aren't. You should focus on the people who are, because they're going to help get you through. And there's a good chance that we keep talking about people inspiring each other to keep moving forward. In focusing on being yourself and being authentic in your words and your deeds to who you are and what you believe, that will likely help other people be more comfortable being true to themselves. And often the people who judge us most harshly for being true to ourselves and our beliefs are going through similar times of doubt in their own lives. And they are scared of the uncertainty that comes with exploring new ideas and unfamiliar things. The harshest judgments often come from the most insecure observers. Is something that I have noticed many times in my life. And I've caught that in myself as well. Whenever I catch myself being particularly harsh to someone or something that I've never encountered before, sometimes it's simply because I don't know what to make of it. And so the lizard brain takes over and says, you should be scared of it. You shouldn't like it. But that's not a healthy way forward, is it? In order to make progress and be able to overcome that doubt, be open about the things you care about, be open about your beliefs, be honest about your beliefs, and again, focus on just being authentic to you. Because the people who will best support you will flock to you as you keep doing that. And you'll be able to support them in turn. A lot of these are about overcoming our insecurities by reaching out to other people around us. I mean, even the very first reading for Leo had the Two of Cups and the enchantment card of, finding all of the joys in life through the harmony we have with our partners, with our lovers, our friends, whatever it may be. And that seems to be the running theme right now. For Pisces, we have pulled the Judgment, which, by the way, is such a gorgeous card. And it also is getting me a little bit excited for the honeymoon, because we're going to Hawaii, and it's very inspired by, like, Hawaii or the Amazon. But there's the Judgment, which is opportunity. And we have this Creativity Oracle, which says procrastination. Stop focusing on your problems or excuses and take a small step to do something constructive. And that's another thing that I try to keep in mind to help me continue working on my goals. What is one thing you can do today at 10:15 at night if you're in Central Time? What is one thing you can do today or in the next 24 hours to make progress toward a goal that you really want and have your sights set on? There has to be something. You might not be able to do everything in the next 24 hours. Certainly not. Rome wasn't built in a day. Even the creation story out of the Bible says it took at least 6 days to create existence, right? Nothing is built in a day. Certainly nothing worth having or working toward. But each day can be used to build. So what is one thing that you can do in the next 24 hours to make progress on a goal? Do that thing. And if you have multiple goals, sit and think about, okay, do I want to make a bunch of progress toward one today? Or do I want to make a little bit of progress toward each of them? It doesn't ultimately matter which one you pick. Unless there's a deadline for something, then prioritize the nearest, deadline. But what is one thing you can do? And with Judgment, typically we are looking at how we've acted or spoken or thought in the past and evaluating how we feel about it without being overly negative toward ourselves, because, we are not who we were in the past. We learn and we grow as we move forward. And the big thing with Judgment that I often take away is things you've been through in your past are there to help you learn how to better navigate anything similar that comes up in the future. What did you learn going through it so that you can grow? And that is the takeaway, and you let go of all the rest. You don't judge yourself or anyone else any longer for what happened. You learn what there is to learn, and you forget all the rest and you move forward. And in letting things go, often it gives us better opportunity to work toward the things that actually matter, such as, often procrastination comes from us dwelling on, yes, doubt, which has been a running theme, but any other potential consequences or obstacles we might consider coming up. Judgment, reflection, reckoning, awakening. I am waking to my calling. There is something you want more than anything right now, and it's all you can think about. And because it is so important to you, again, you are afraid of screwing it up. You cannot let that stop you. I almost wish the Fool was in this reading. I imagine if I started going through the deck, it would not be far from where I started flipping through. You cannot let your fears, your doubts, anyone else's thoughts or comments, or even actions stop you from working toward this goal. If it matters to you, then you need to go for it, even to the point of ignoring parts of yourself. Because if nothing else, your doubts are not your intuition telling you to stop. It's coming from all of the struggles you've had in the past, trying to remind you how much you've struggled and make you ignore all the things you've succeeded at or survived. You've managed to get through everything else in your life up to this point. What's stopping you from doing this too? And further, again, since judgment is about reflection as well, how many things did you not achieve because you let your fear stop you before? Maybe that will be the kick in the ass you need to stop procrastinating now. So Aries has pulled the 9 of Pentacles, which is reward. And we have enchantment. We are enchanted when the muses sing the spirit of art into us. Yeah, Aries is really close to achieving some sort of goal and finishing a journey. And so now all that needs to be done is putting that head down and doing the last little bit. But you are very well poised. You have all of the resources you need to get there, including some of the reward you have earned by working toward the goal itself. And you need to let yourself continue to be enchanted and inspired by whatever got you started in the first place. Keep looking at that mood board, keep listening to that music, keep talking to the person, whatever the case may be. Keep getting excited about it until it's done. And then you can take the time to rest and enjoy what you've done and start thinking about something new. It's a nice simple one. You're very, very close to your goal, Aries. You can absolutely get there. Some readings go that quick. It's very funny when they do. So this is Taurus. We have the Wish Granted card again. Believe in your ability as a magic maker to manifest your wishes. They will soon become reality. But we also have Justice inverted. The Justice card typically is... a lot of people jump to legal stuff. I don't necessarily know that that's the case here. Often it's a card of cause and effect and understanding the ways in which the things we do or say bring about other things in response. I think it's also a card of clarity, if I'm not mistaken. So when inverted, Justice is a card of dishonesty, unaccountability, or unfairness. And it says to embrace fairness to correct past wrongs. Now, I will say it's not necessarily referring to anything you yourself have done, Taurus. This could be things that have been done to you that you have not properly gotten a proper response from anyone to resolve it. If nothing else, there is perhaps someone who owes you an apology. And that lack of apology or lack of closure on this issue could be whatever you're dwelling on. And while I do hope you get that closure, keep in mind that there is a chance it may never occur. And so you need to think about what you will do and how you will feel if you never get that closure. And you need to focus on the things you can control. None of us can control the thoughts or beliefs or actions of other people around us, even when they hurt us. So it's best to focus on how you can continue to respond and act and think and speak as maturely and reasonably as possible. And you need to focus on how you can best move forward even if you never get the apology you are owed. Whether or not it was intentional, someone did you wrong. And you need to focus on coming to terms with that and moving forward in spite of it. You will get the closure that you need. But if you don't, the closure may come without you realizing it, in the form of you accepting that you don't want anything else to do with that person, whatever the case may be. Join the wrong side of the card. But I wish you luck through this. And if nothing else, I hope spite for the naysayer is what drives you forward. Sometimes people underestimate how motivational spite can be when nothing else will quite do. The want to prove those who doubt you wrong. Ooh, we have the High Priestess, another favorite. All about trusting your intuition, learning how to listen to it and discern it from your doubts or fears, and understanding that you and you alone will know the best way forward for yourself. You cannot force others to think or believe what you believe, and likewise, no one can force you to change your beliefs. Okay, so Gemini, as I said, has pulled the High Priestess, all about intuition, learning to discern it, learning how to hear it, how to discern it, and how to trust it, right? That gut feeling in any situation. And remember that your intuition will always be distinct in that it will not carry fears or doubts or worries with it. It will be clear. It will be unemotional when it comes through. It will be statements, not questions. No what ifs, just this is this, and that is that. It is what it is. That's gonna be what your intuition sounds, feels, tastes like. And yes, clairgustrance is a thing, if anybody wants to hear more about that in a moment. This is your creativity oracle for Gemini. And I'm realizing now that this is this deck's equivalent of the strength card, so you can consider yourself as having pulled strength. This is called courage. Have the courage to see the lessons in all situations and face them constructively. So whenever we go through more difficult situations, especially interpersonal interactions, often we get too focused on all of the actual, like, oh, this person said this, and this hurt me, and I hurt you, and oh my god, what are we gonna do? And we sometimes forget that every experience we have, particularly the negative ones, are opportunities to learn and to grow. Again, we are human beings, we learn and we grow constantly as we go through our lives. And so it takes courage and a level of clarity that can come with the High Priestess, to recognize what you are meant to learn and take away from the situation in question. So whatever situations you are currently navigating, Gemini, try to be mindful of your inner wisdom versus your inner doubt, and use that navigation and that distinction to help you recognize what you need to learn from what you're going through and how you can best apply it in the future as you move forward. Sometimes it takes courage even to listen to our own gut. Okay, and lastly, but certainly not least, is Cancer. So, we have, for Cancer, the Five of Swords in reverse. Five of Swords typically being defeat and needing to be able to walk away from a situation rather than perpetuating it. And your creativity oracle is thus, and says, recycle. Learn from the past and apply it to creating your vision for the future. Future. God damn, I've got all the quotes in my head tonight. Okay, Five of Swords inverted. Lingering resentment, desire to reconcile, or desire to forgive. Okay, future! I release the need to win at all cost in order to seek true resolution. Okay, so some sort of conflict that you've been dealing with lately, Cancer. You at least have reached a point where you've recognized that whatever it started over, at this point, there's no reason to continue. And it is best to reach a resolution and get it done with, rather than continuing to butt heads. And somewhere along the way, there is something from your past, some other situation you have been through, that can help inform how to resolve this current conflict. You have been through something that you have learned from or need to look back on to learn from, that will help you not only resolve this, but find the best way forward after the resolution. And whatever that resolution may be, know that it will ultimately be for the best, because if nothing else, the conflict will be over. And you and anyone else involved will all be better for it. Conflict and war weigh heavy on everyone involved, and often on collateral parties that aren't directly involved. And that's not to say we should avoid it at all costs, but we should be able to maturely and reasonably, that phrase keeps coming up, absolve conflict when it comes up.